practice space has become the foyer. That's the front door. So I have to lock my husband out, but he can use another door. So it's interesting when we change our practice space, it changes, I guess, everything, our perspective into the outer world. But what we're finding is in the inner world, while initially, and that could even be for years in the practice, we see all the, I'll say, junk, the thoughts we don't want, the judgments, the resistance, the sadness, the wanting to cling to gladness, and that whole drama. And then if we practice enough, or if there's just an instant awakening, like the man, his name was Saul, he was a great rabbi, and he persecuted Christians who were on fire with the Holy Spirit, all about healing and miracles and all of that. And he'd been persecuting them, and he's on the road to Damascus, and he's blinded by the light. It's like, he got struck and literally couldn't see for 3 days. So there are instant awakenings. And then he wrote most of the New Testament. So he woke up and he understood that we all have been given the key to the kingdom, if you will, the place of beauty and strength and freedom and honor. And we're just bringing our humanness into that. So that's transformation. So there is instant awakening, but usually when a human says, I'm going to take charge of my life, then there are practices, and usually over time, we recognize that we're becoming more skillful. We're getting it. We're clearing the inner landscape. And so that's really what we're doing, although in the little instant, assistance on that is certainly okay. And so that's the descent of glory. That is the bliss body. When we glimpse or have these moments or sustained experience of bliss. So a couple of things, especially in the morning meditation practice, but anytime. And this is a long-standing tradition. You could use anything. I happen to have this big bowl from Tibet. And so when we begin the meditation, or there's a call, like a church bell or something, there's the striking of the bowl. Now, it's an empty bowl, but it represents fullness. It also represents the womb, the divine feminine. The manifest world, all of it is the feminine expression. And then there's the divine masculine. And so what we're doing in yoga is uniting those two forces because they're meant to be together, in love, in union, in bliss, in joy. So that's what we're doing. So in the beginning, and then at the end of the practice, we again hear the sound, and that prepares us to then transition, not to turn off the inside and look to the outside, but to bring that, I'll say, intelligence. It's beyond human intelligence, but to bring that light of awareness then into whatever it is that we're going to do next. So it's a bridging. It's a conscious bridging. Now, the sound works with our frequency. It works with, everything is frequency. So this sound, this was divinely inspired to create these bowls as a tool, an outer resource to facilitate the human's awakening from the spell of being separate from source. So that's what we do. Anytime we gather, there's the bowl, and there's this is the beginning. We're entering, everything is sacred space, but we're going in as a group into our own inner landscape to clear and to arrive at the altar of the heart. And when we come together for this, even though it's very individual practice, we come together, there's a magnification. When two or more join in a single purpose, and our single purpose is to awaken, then there's a magnification of that frequency, that energy. And a lot happens in the unseen world, unseen to human eyes, but we can see it with mind, big M, mind. And I hope you've clearly differentiated the conditioning, lower mind, unhealthy ego. That's one category, but what we're developing intentionally is the other. And we can't develop this by trashing that. It's there. It's really a messenger. It's a kick in the butt that says, hey, you're suffering. Oh, here it is. Let's suffer some more. Let's suffer some more. And so it's really calling you to say, wait a minute. Let me take control of this life. Let me take command. And so I wanted to share about the bowl, and I shared a little bit more. But this stuff is so amazing, and there's so much to share. It's so beautiful, and I'm so happy we're on this journey together. More later. Namaste.